Hello, hello, hello. Again. Let's see if I can go in my. I'm just gonna stay here. But I'm gonna see if how long this video camera will work without it glitching me out a ton of times. But I'm gonna wait for everybody to get here. So I'm a few minutes early. So I guess while waiting for people, I can get this stuff up. You know what? Hey Denise. Hey Pointer Lover. Let me do something. I think I'm gonna do no virtual background. You can see my daughter's fishing flag in the background, but that's all right. I don't know what is with this chair. Why there's paint all over this chair. Um, so we are going to talk about a few things tonight. I feel like there's a lot that is going on right now. We are going to touch on a few things that I found out about, like not so much even Eliza, but the Pookie or whatever his name is, Cleotha. Um, and we're going to talk about, I think you say his name is Aries Muse, I think, about his case and a little bit about Lucian's. Okay, Denise, I'll check it out. I will check it out. So let me pull up a couple things here. I'm going to turn off my cam for a second. All right. Let me go pull up a few things. I should probably let Discord know that we're live. All right. So let's talk about Eliza Fletcher's case. So not much has come out as far as the new information, but I've talked to you guys about how I feel that there are some other victims and I really want to, touch on that. I will say that I'm going to pull up the map here and we're going to look at what has been Cleotha's MO so far. Let me see if I can get this up here. What is this? Okay. So let me pull up Eliza's. So here we go, y'all. Let me break this down for you. Let me go back to StreamYard so I can see what you're saying. There is a method to my madness here. So what I ended up finding out was that, hey, let's talk with Gold Star Mom. So Cleotha actually worked at a place called Majesty Cleaning. It was kind of like, it seemed like a real small company. So he worked as a cleaner for Majesty Cleaning. Specifically, he worked at Melco Cordova Cinema. Okay, so we're going to look at that in a second. So he worked there as a night cleaner. So when I heard that, it made a little more sense of his time frame because both of the victims that we know about, Eliza and the girl in September of 2021, both of them happened between like the 4 a.m., 7 a.m. time frame. So let me go back to this so you can see, you know what, let's take this off. All right, so up there in the corner, you can see there's this red star right here. This is where he worked. Okay, so this is where he worked. Let me actually do the map here. And that's how I want to do. So he worked here nights. Okay, so he worked, let's just figure he must have got off somewhere between 4 and 6. This was where he was staying with Gwendolyn Brown, where they found him. Now, okay, so this over here is Central Ave. This is where Eliza was taken. Whoops. So let's map this out. 8 miles from where he worked. And this is, so there's I can't get it off. Hold on. My map is going crazy. Okay, so what is going on here? So over here is where we have the September 2021 event happened right here on Oliver Ave. Okay. This is where Brother Boy lives right here, 2 miles away. So 2 miles away from where the 2021, September 21st, 2021, was where the woman was attacked that we know of by Cleotha. All right, so that's 2 miles away. Now, Victor Street is where Eliza was found. So, come on. So, we have 2 miles from where Oliver Ave is, from where the September 2021 and where Eliza was found near the brothers. Hey, Sandy. So, he has a definite, and so then he took her from Central Ave. And then if you go, just another 8 miles, that takes you to where um, he works. So my other thing is maybe we also don't even know, right? Like, oh, thanks, Gold Star. He could have met women, y'all, at the theater. There's been speculation that he cleaned some of these houses, these abandoned homes, because most of the time, if you look at, like, you go in to look at the actual, like, street view of where these places are, the homes usually typically look pretty abandoned or that they've been moved in and out of. Now, I will say, okay, so it is alleged and speculated that the girl that he did this to in September of 2021, September 21st, 2021, that she was able to even, like, give a description of him and everything, and then it was very violent. So what I think we can determine with him is that he's very violent. Maybe not so, like, murder, but definitely very, very violent. Now, we also did, if you remember correctly, I said in July and August, um, let's see, it was July, a woman was murdered and left near the cemetery. And in August, a woman was left, what was it, Oakville Cemetery, by the same cemetery, and was assaulted. And let me pull up the cemetery so we can get an idea. Y'all, guys, are you seeing this? This is Oakville Cemetery. In August, a woman went missing. In July, a woman went missing, both assaulted and murdered. And let's take a look. Oh, this is closer than I thought. Okay. Where did my things go? Okay, so let's map this out here. Sorry, I'm talking, and let's go over to Brothers. 6 miles. 6 miles. And now the people that were, and so the people, or so these cases, the witnesses for these cases both say, in the ones in August and July, both say that they saw a dark blue vehicle, or a dark vehicle. They couldn't tell if it was a sedan or an SUV because it was kind of in between. We know that he drove a GMC Terrain. Now, when I was looking at it, I was thinking, but what does that matter? I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this. Hey, essay, we're talking 6 miles. You know what else I'm going to do? Watch this. I'm going to just blow our minds here wide open. Let's do something, guys. So I'm about to see something. Let's go from the lakes at Ridgeway. I'm about to tell you how he ended up there, too. Oakville Cemetery. Brother, or where Eliza was found. Brother's house. Oliver Ave, Central Ave. Look at that. Now, I don't know about y'all, but, and this is completely speculation on my part, Oakville Cemetery is in between Brother's house and the Lakes at Ridgeway, right there in the middle. It fits all of his MOs. Now, I was like, well, how is this possible? Because, like, they don't have, they would probably have all that back. But I looked and there's over 14,000 SA kits on like backlogged. So there's no way they're pulling these right now. So what I've done is I'll show you guys how I've been doing this. So I'm going to hold on to that. Let's see, stop share. I pull up this database right here. Hopefully this isn't boring you guys. I'm trying to show you how okay. So I've pulled up this database, guys. This is that Memphis Data Hub. And I've doing all kidnappings from 2022 to 2020 when he got out. And what I'm doing is I am taking, I know it sounds ridiculous, I am going through all of them and all of the kidnappings that took place between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. I'm writing the addresses down, well, just, the streets and stuff. And what I'm going to do is go back through and put them all on a map and see how many fit within the 20-mile radius. Because I just really think it's odd. I think that there is no way that he just said once a year he's going to do this. He started his criminal journey at 11 years old. So let me show you something else. Well, I'm glad you think this is interesting, Denise. This is how my brain, this is how you operate with facts, right? But it's actually very tragic to see how many kidnappings there's been. But here we go. So let me stop sharing that. I'm going to show you guys something else. So I was trying to figure out who is Gwendolyn Brown, right? Who is Gwendolyn Brown? Now we know that Cleotha or Pookie, pretty much they're having themselves a nice little family reunion in prison right now. So we know that Cleo Henderson Sr., he is in prison since about 2010 for murder. So I looked this man up. He's appealed like 3 times, y'all, and he's lost every time. So this is going to be quite interesting for you, I think, because it was to me. So I've got so much junk up here. Cleo Henderson. Y'all ready to have your minds blown a little bit? I'm so dramatic about it. Okay, here we go. This is what he did, right? So Cleo basically in January of 2010, this is Pookie's father. He shot Reuben Jefferson outside of Luster's Sundry, a grocery store and club in Memphis, Tennessee. Jury indicted him for first-degree premeditated murder. Now, what is Pookie premeditated? Okay, so basically he's guilty. All right. So February 2012, he files an appeal and goes through this whole thing. There's this whole, Mr. Wilburn who testified against him said that they were arguing. But now I look down here and now look at this. On cross-examination, this is part of like his appeal affidavit. Cross-examination, Mr. Wilburn agreed that he told police in his statement the appellant and the victim had argued about Sandra Brown, the woman who the appellant was dating. He disagreed. I want you to look at this. He disagreed that the victim had pimped Miss Brown. Now, Yolanda Hyman testified that January 15th, 2000, I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. January 15th, 2010, she went to Luster's Sundry. She said that she saw appellant sitting with Sandra Brown and Constant Hyman Brown. Miss Hyman saw the victim and Mr. Wilburn arrived. Miss Hyman said that she danced with the victim and they sat down at the table. Mr. Hyman, Miss Hyman testified the appellant approached the victim and asked the victim to let him holler at him. And so there we go. We go through all that again. We hear about a Constant Hyman Brown. So what's my point of all this? Hey, PJ's Wish. So this is in 2010, y'all, that this all happened, okay? Let me put my face back. I don't know how to put oh. So this is in 2010 that this all takes place. What's my point? Do y'all remember whose house, by the way, there is a kidnapping case that happened at 6,000 Waterstone, which is the apartment complexes that Pookie was found at. So, do you remember whose apartment Pookie was found in? I can't even call him that, but he's just that stupid. Gwendolyn Brown, which I think I can tie her back to being the daughter of Sandra Brown. So my point with that is, if Sandra was Gwendolyn's mom or sister or something like that, and it was alleged that the dad of Cleo that killed Eliza was basically pimping, trafficking Sandra and her sister. And now we have Pookie staying with a Gwendolyn Brown, which we can assume is probably relation in some way, shape, or form to Gwendolyn, then it's pretty safe to say this is like a family operation. Because why? His dad went to prison in 2012. So why in 2022? I mean, so he's got this woman named Sandra Brown that, he shot somebody over, guys. He shot somebody over her. He shot somebody over her. And now we have the son allegedly staying with a daughter or sister or something. I still have to tie them together, but somehow. So I just find the more I see about certain things, the more I feel like this family has a really, really long list of victims. And with dad being in prison, and James, I believe, is like a cousin to them in prison as well, and brother's now in prison, but he just ended up in prison. But I feel that this is like, I think there's a lot of victims of theirs. A lot. Hey, Punkette. If anybody can actually find the direct relationship between Gwendolyn and Sandra or Constance, that would be awesome. But I mean, is Pookie was he on a revenge spree for his father? Like, was he communicating with his father? Did his dad know about these crimes he was committing? Oh, awesome, Punkette. Like, it's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. And I think there's a deeper connection between things than we think of. Like, guys, the cemetery thing. So, look, wouldn't you, if you're law enforcement or you're FBI, would you not like expedite certain cases now to see if he what do you call it, pings through CODIS? Wouldn't you? Or am I losing my mind? I mean, 2 women murdered, left 2 months in a row, left at a cemetery. Guess what? Guess when the only month that somebody, hey, Diana, thanks, it's my daughter's little cove we made her, and that's her fishing flag in the back. The only month that somebody wasn't murdered and left at the cemetery in the last 3 months was September. And that, I believe, was because if it is him, I believe it's because he was in jail because he killed Eliza. I think he was stalking his victims. We know that a University of Memphis girl has said that she knows he was the one stalking them, the cross country team, because she caught him parked where she usually parks and basically stalking. Izzy, girl, girl, obviously. Hey, Shelma, there's so much. Izzy, I need you to draw me a connection between Gwendolyn Brown and Sandra Brown. But y'all, so this is the other thing. I don't necessarily know in Eliza's case, but if this family is so crime like heavy, which we know they're all in prison, but as far as like I don't know. We do get into it's just Izzy, I got to show you something. Hold on. I got to show the map again, y'all. Because you got to look at this, Izzy. And then I'll move on to my other case. These are just little things I've been finding out. So Izzy, let me break this down for you. 3800 Central Ave is the University of Memphis, where Eliza was taken. Lakes at Ridgeway, where he was found with a Gwendolyn Brown, which I think is relation to Sandra Brown, which was his dad's girlfriend in 2010, and also the reason that he shot somebody over her. So then over here, we've got South Orland Street, where brother lives, Victor Street, where Eliza was found, up here, Oliver Ave, where the September 21st, 2021 case happened with the other woman. Now and here, right here at the bottom, is Oakville Cemetery. And Oakville Cemetery is where, I know you missed this, is where a woman was shot and assaulted in July and in August. And both are still out on the loose. And both times, witnesses claim they saw a dark blue vehicle going away. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. That's kind of where I've gotten this far with Eliza's case. Like I said, I'm breaking down addresses and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't care. I'll tip it out if I say I don't care. Like whatever. I'll tip it out if people I mean, if it helps somebody find some sort of closure and he gets more charges brought against him, absolutely. So now, exactly, Gold Star Mom. And I know, thank you, Izzy. Please, yes, guys. I know it's like it seems ridiculous that I'm doing this, but I just feel that there's victims that don't have families like Eliza that are fighting for them, and that deserve some sort of closure. And I think every charge that can be brought against this douchebag, the better. Because there's no way he hit up one girl a year. You're never going to convince me of that. Never. So now here's another rabbit hole. And Punkette's at the fair, so she can't come up right now. But, whoops, what am I doing? But I want to talk about it. And when she gets a chance, when she's not at the fair, she'll come up and talk about it a little bit. So we are going to talk about, I believe his name is Aries Muse. Let me pull up. He was a 2-year-old little boy that was found dead last night around 6. I believe it was last night or the day before, around 6 p.m. He had gone missing. Hold on, I got to pull it up. I'm a visual person, y'all. I can't just sit here and talk. Like, I have to have actual visual, like, so he went missing about, so there's been 2 stories. Right. First, they said he went missing at 6 a.m. Then it was 6:30. So what the actual story is, and let me break this down quickly for you before we go on. Yep, me too, Izzy. 100%. Um, Punkette, well, just let me finish the story, and if you feel like it and you're at a good spot, but seriously, I mean, we're going to be talking about this case for a few days. You enjoy the fair. So, parents allege that, and at this rate, we don't have anything that says this isn't true, other than the story has changed a couple times, but as far as timing, but hey, when we're grieving, we talked about it earlier, like, our brains, times, whatever. They said that they locked the door they have three different locks because they said he can escape. So they say that at 1:30 a.m. he came in bed with them and fell asleep, or he allegedly fell asleep at 1:30. Mom and dad stay sleeping. Then it's alleged that at 6:30 dad woke up and he wasn't there. So dad called law enforcement. I got more maps, y'all. So law enforcement comes and they start searching. Um, so there's a couple key pieces to this. So by 6:15 last night, Aries is found deceased, or the day before, Aries is found deceased. The problem with what so they're claiming, right, that he got through three locks, which I've heard is okay. At 2 years old, I don't know, but they said he made it through the three deadbolt locks or whatever, but they were pretty significant, right, Denise, and escaped. And they didn't know until they woke up at 6:30. So it is, I mean, you can't deny the fact that it is odd that at 2 he didn't fall back asleep, or it's just odd, but whatever, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. So this is where he ended up being found 0.67 miles away from his home. The problem with this situation is, and the reason Punkette is going to talk about this here in the next couple of days, is because it happened on a reservation. So it happened we're going back to the Google Earth. Sorry, y'all, you got to know it. So this happened, and I cannot say, yeah, exactly, Denise. I don't know PJ's wish, because it gets a little bit at some of the things we've uncovered. So let me get off of Liza here, and let me type in hold on, I got to show you where this happened. There we go. So this is about where it happened. It happened in Okfuskee County, and I think it's like Okehem, Oklahoma, Okemen, Oklahoma. Regardless, it's at a reservation. So they're saying that it was right around this location that he went missing. So I believe it was right where they said where the two intersections meet. So there is a pond right here. And so everybody was speculating that, well, perhaps he ended up in the pond because the Muskogee Nation. Okay. So there's a couple of things. So Punkette, if you didn't know, is of Native American descent, and she did grow up on a reservation. And so she's been able to speak to me a lot about this stuff, because if you don't know a lot about it, and Punkette, please correct me in chat if I'm wrong. It's said, like they have their own set of code in there, right? And they don't always trust outside law enforcement, etc. So the problem is when it comes to this is they aren't releasing where he was found exactly, how the cause of death. They've said two different things. They're not first they said they're not ruling out foul play, but then they're saying that they didn't suspect foul play, but they're so tight-lipped. So then I saw this and I sent it to Punkette. Somebody had put, now I will say too, at first, very first, they said mom called. All right, at 6 a.m. Then it changed to dad called after he rolled over. So let's see what the latest story, and this is what I'm sorry I'm jumping all over the place. I just want to make sure you guys totally get what is going on here, because like it's just so important that we understand the context surrounding a case like this. So, um, let me go to an actual story. So it says searchers, this was when it originally happened. No, that's not a good one. Here we go. So now this, I don't know who this chick is that said he was found under his home, but that's not necessarily that's not what I've heard. But it says a young boy was found dead during a day-long search after he was reported missing from his Okima area home early Monday. Muskogee Nation press secretary Jason Salzman told press conference Monday evening. So now that is the actual nation reservations press secretary again, so it's different than when it's just regular outside of the mill law enforcement. It says Ares Muse 2 was reported missing about 1:30 a.m. and more than 20 agencies assisted in the search. He was found about 6 p.m. Salzman couldn't say how the boy died or exactly where he was found, only that it was within the search area. However, an email from Department of Public Safety received by Tulsa World indicates that a team from Pontotoc, I'm sorry, I can't, County and Colgate Fire Department said Aries' body was about 6/10 of a mile south of his home. But hold on, that's not the actual. Here we go. So it says, this is what it says. Um, it's not telling me the. So it says that's what around 6:30 a.m. his dad woke up only to realize that the toddler who wore black footy pajamas customized with colorful dinosaurs had disappeared from his bed. He looked around the house and still did not find Aries. Soon after, the family notified authorities and different teams began to search for the missing boy. And it just tells you how Aries' dad also hinted at the authorities and news sources on relevant information that helped the search. They maintained that 3 different doors needed to be unlocked if the 2-year-old wanted to leave the house, and added that he had opened them before. So that right there is a little different of a story, because we hear at first that it was 3 locks and that just said 3 different doors. Now that could entirely be just the actual news, media and stuff like that. But what I will say is that this then popped up, and I'm going to pull this up, that I found. It must have been in response to somebody's post on a Facebook. One second. Just got to get to my email here. All right. Oh, how about I show you guys? All right. So this says right here, and this was about 2 hours ago or so. It says from a Maggie Marlowe, "This is my friend's baby cousin. He climbed on a stool and opened the door as soon as his mom." So she says, as soon as his mom realized he was gone around 6 that morning, she called the police and made a report that she made sure people knew he was missing and was out looking for hours. He was found in a ditch by the highway where he'd been hit, and someone put him in the ditch instead of reporting they'd hit him. So now we have an entirely different thing, right? We have a cousin that is saying that mom called, that he got on a stool to open the door, 3 different locks, which again, I know that 2-year-olds are like Houdinis. I get it. But we're talking between 1:30 and 6:30 in the morning. A little boy takes a stool, drags it over to the doors, and opens the doors, and then gets hit, and a person leaves and puts him in the ditch. And then you have I gotta find the other post here. You have oh shoot, I didn't get. Then you had another. Hold on, now I gotta find it. It's gonna drive me nuts. Yeah, right? How the stories twist so easy. Well, and then this one says he crawled his way into, okay, yeah, he crawled. One says he was found under the home, but where was the, I gotta find this group thing because it was really good. Ah. Oh yeah, okay, hold on a second. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to find this one post because it actually is. Yeah, for sure. It actually is pretty pertinent to this. So, um, it was, here we go. This says that this woman crossed out. This said this was a comment seen on a news reporter's post, and it definitely raised an eyebrows. So it says, I will tell you, this is from, must be a family member or somebody alleging that they knew them. I will tell you, I stood outside the fence of the home all day, waiting for them to allow us to help search. I talked to Eric Foster, the lead OHP. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to guess it's law enforcement within the reservation itself. And he informed me that Aries was not found in a body of water because at first everyone was speculating that he was found in a pond. It said he was found in a wooden area and they couldn't put hands on him. They had to call a special team to recover the body. So then people were saying, well, did animals get to him that quick? But I was talking, it's a very weird story. And as I talked about it to Punkette, the one thing she did say, and the reason she's going to come up later when we dig more into this week, is because she said you've got to understand the atmosphere within a reservation like that. Like, it's very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you cover for each other, right? Like, it's just, they're very untrusting of the outside law enforcement, and it will be very hard, I think, to get answers from within there. Or, I mean, if they won't even tell you right now where he was found, that's obviously. But I do think that, you know, there's kids 2 years old that are Houdinis. And like I said, we know that, but we're also talking in the middle of the night. No one heard anything. And maybe, like I said, maybe it is a complete freak of nature type. This kid was just so good that he could escape anything. And I mean, he was two. Uh, if he didn't, if would every, oh, really, is he? Wow. So if he, like, I don't know, it's just really hard for me to grasp. I know what happens. I'm just trying to grasp between 1:30 and 6:30 in the morning. You think so, Punkette? That, and remember, his parents started searching, they said, right after that. So within 4 hours, he was dead. And something had to have happened that was really drastic. And I mean, we've heard two reports now saying that, from two different people saying he was not found in water. And I also looked up the 6/10 of a mile away from the house, and that doesn't put him in any water. It doesn't put him close enough to be in any water. So with that being said, I mean, somebody killed him outside, right? I mean, somebody had to have. Tribal police cannot, I hope so too, Izzy, cannot touch murder hunt. Oh, really, Punkette? Okay. Wow. I mean, regardless, it's a tragic situation. If it's the case and somebody hit him and drove off, I mean, I can't, that would actually match up with this person saying that he didn't like have, he couldn't be touched by law enforcement. He had a special team to recover it because of the fact that a 2-year-old to be hit by a car is just, it's just insane. It's just insane. But let's talk about one more case because I want to hit, because these are 3 we're really going to really deep dive into. So if you have not, I talked a little bit about Lucian. Gosh, this sweet baby boy. Is he not the sweetest boy? Lucian Munguia. So he went missing around, we talked about this a little bit the other day. He's 4 years old. He went missing Saturday evening, y'all, in Sarge Hubbard Park in Yakima. His family is asking for help. Why did I just click off of that? Wait, hold on. Supreme Court took a lot of power away from it. Oh, okay, Punkette. Wow. Okay, Punkette. Well, at least Punkette can come up and he put plus. Really, Karma. Get out of here, Karma. Wow. Hey, it happens. That's what I mean. It quite possibly happened. And the tragic part is that it probably did happen that he got out like that. Um and something like somebody hit him or something. If it's dark and there's not, I mean, that's pretty, we saw the map. It's really out in the middle of nowhere. So somebody hitting him isn't, a totally out there thought. It's the part where somebody drove away, because obviously somebody drove away, because if that's by Punkette, if that's the case, um, I bet Karma, if that's the case and somebody hit him, well, no one came forward because hey, Pamela, I mean, they discovered his body in searching. I wonder, Karma, I wonder. God bless his parents too. Just like you just said, Karma, you didn't sleep through the night for the next 5 years. Yeah, we've all seen our Houdini kids. So this is Lucian Munguia, and he went missing from that park in near the Yakima River around 7:15 Saturday. His family called police after 15 minutes, launching a massive search of the park and the surrounding area. Sandra Munguia, Lucian's mother, remains certain her son will be found and is pleading for help. So what I ended up uncovering, though, that I had looked on web sleuths, and they're usually pretty, like, I try to, hey, Caddy, Texas. That's Gold Star. I was gonna look at that. I'm gonna ask Punkette about that because she knows that area pretty well, and I was curious about that too. If there's a possibility of something else happening, and then wildlife having gotten to him as well. Um, so the interesting thing about Lucian is I've got to find the. So it says that there's a large homeless population near Sarge Hubbard, which is the park he went missing in. But Lucian has autism. It says he was last. So this is what's crazy. So it says he's so what the claim is, y'all, I'm gonna break this down, is that dad took them to the park, or mom, the family took them to the park. I have to look. And that they have 2 other siblings. I believe it was a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. And the 2-year-old was a little girl, and the boys were playing, and dad went to the car, he says, which is still in sight. He said Lucian and those guys, the playground was still in sight from the car, and he goes to the car to change the 2-year-old daughter's diaper. And in that time, he says that Lucian disappeared. Okay, that's highly possible. We've seen stranger things happen. So they said Lucian, at first they said, so he is autistic. At first, the media said he was nonverbal. His mom did come forward and correct that and said he is not nonverbal. He does speak. He speaks in kind of, not great sentences, and it's kind of broken up, but he will respond if you call him and say his name. But it's said that they have video of him last seen heading south and east across the park's parking lot in the direction of the river and other bodies of water. He was wearing blue shorts and a blue shirt with a shark on it. The Yakima County Sheriff's Office search and rescue team, which had been leading search efforts, turned things back over to the Yakima Police Department. We weren't able to find Lucian. We weren't able to find evidence of him traveling really anywhere, and we have no clues of where he's at right now. He added that the sheriff's office has offered to lend a hand with equipment and staffing, and hundred of trained search team members and non-trained volunteers have joined the search using dogs, divers, ATVs, boats, and kayaks, aerial and submersible drones, and a helicopter equipped with infrared cameras. Detectives went to nearby homes and businesses for video and interviewed people in the area. Right now, there's no indication of foul play. Along with the swift-moving Yakima River, there are 2 ponds in and near the park. Teams have also checked LL Buchanan Lake and a flooded gravel pit. So this is crazy. So little boy goes missing out of nowhere at this park, right? Dad is just changing diaper, within and goes missing. And then they say they have video of him going southeast, or I don't know how they go south and east by himself. Now they've said they have divers and all that stuff that have checked and searched and all that. When I read a little while ago, it said that law enforcement was pulling back from the search because they've searched hundreds of miles and they've gotten no evidence of Lucian whatsoever, where he could be or what direction he could have possibly headed, and that they've had the divers and all that. Now we know, based on the Kylie Rodney case, that having divers from law enforcement doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I would say it would seem that there's a likely chance that he ended up in one of these lakes. How far? I hate to speculate against the parent. PJ's Wish, you're in here. You can attest this. I am having a hard time, like, if he was just changing the diaper, right, and Lucy had disappeared, he would have had to been moving so fast. Wouldn't you have to actually get a distance away where his parents couldn't have found him? What I need to do is actually look at the actual area, okay, and try to figure out how long it would have taken him to walk away to a pond or something like that where he could have drowned before his dad was alert to that he was actually gone. Thank you, PJ's Wish. Thank you. Exactly, Karma. Exactly. Y'all, when I heard this story for the first time, I got to tell you, Michael Von Monkey's story flew through my head. It flew through my head. And Karma's absolutely correct. And because now people are coming forward saying you have no idea how bad the homeless population along those rivers are and everything. And I'm not saying that just because you're homeless, you're doing that. But we also know that, remember Ashton, he was ended up being returned safely and they found him, but he ended up being with a homeless man smoking meth, and he was 7 years old, and they were grooming him, and something is just odd. I'm just interested to see your thoughts here in chat from other people. I believe something is up, something is weird, and I'm not necessarily saying it's the parents, but somebody came and something's up. Something's up. So law enforcement is pulling back now, and That means, y'all, because they have said they have found zero evidence of him. Nothing. Not a footprint, nothing. Gold star Bob, exactly, exactly. Now, we know that autistic kids a lot of times will go towards the water. We know that, that's been, stated amongst psychologists and whatever. But karma, I didn't even think of that. That's a great thought. Something is just it just rubs me the wrong way. And I would encourage you to look into this case too, because we're going to keep talking about it. But to just I don't know, guys. I don't know. Wouldn't there be some sort of, I mean, what is scary to me is that law enforcement is like, hey, we're backing off because we don't see him. Like we got no evidence other than this alleged video of him going by himself to the south and to the east, is what it said. And that's all they've got. And that he was wearing that shark shirt. Like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, uh, let's also talk about the fact, what I mean, did it take a half hour to change diapers? Like, I am just very, I don't know. Someone could have picked him up in a car and fled. Exactly, Karma. Exactly. That's what, to me, it seems more likely that somebody would have, seen dad I mean, let's look at this kid. He's a beautiful, like, he's adorable. Look at him. He's adorable. And what also alarms me, and I'm going to say this, is that first they did tell Ellie that I think that he was, nonverbal. But I think that, that too could have been media twisting that a little bit, because I'm wondering if they said he's autistic, which he is, and they've not changed that story, parents, and the media automatically like assumed he was nonverbal. But his mom was very forthright to then correct that and say, no, he's not nonverbal. He just doesn't speak well, but he will answer to certain things. Um, I don't get the he wandered into a lake vibe, because I truly think there just would have been something. I mean, you're talking like they've used infrared drones, divers. I just feel like there would have been something that would have led them to an inkling of where this baby went. I just feel it's so much more likely that somebody saw an opportunity and took him. And he's 4 and he's autistic. And if he doesn't speak well, he might not have screamed. Like, it's just, it's terrifying, isn't it, too? Like, in a blink of an eye, they could just be gone like that. Have you ever watched? Yes, Karma, yes. Question, just a thought. Border. What if a few citizens coming in, but what if it's military and they bust them to? Exactly, PJ's wish. I mean, this is nuts. Between Aries' case and this case, like, there's just so many questions I have. Um, Aries' case does seem like it might be a little more like if somebody did what the cousin said and hit him and ran away. But this one, somebody had to have taken him. I know, Denise. I mean, I don't see another. I don't know. And the hard part is I did say, okay, can Adventures with Purpose, you know, find him if he's in water? But most people have said, from what my understanding is, they mainly just focus on, finding a car and then the bodies are in there. I just feel like if law enforcement had any inclination that he was in water, I don't think they think for law enforcement to back off, it means they're kind of at a dead end. Gold Star Mob, excellent point. You're right. Excellent point, because isn't that one of the, and I know he's 4, so he wouldn't have looked at probably he wouldn't have looked at somebody as an abductor anyways. But if I remember correctly, is one of the things with autistic kids is they do trust rather easily, and don't, totally have that thought process to think like, oh, I can't go with this guy because, or something like that. And he was 4. I mean, you think so, Sandy? Yeah. I have a really, really, I know, Karma. I have such a bad feeling. Such a bad feeling. And it is terrifying to think that you can be at a park and then gone. But I mean, look at Monkey, like PJ said, just gone, nothing. Nothing. So I wanted to keep up with this case as well as the Huxleys. It is so sad seeing the Huxley situation with the YouTube mom woke me up to our rehome groups. Exactly, Oh yeah, that's right, Karma. Yeah. Um, so I really want to follow this case, and I'll be interested to see what happens with the Aries case. But I do feel like that maybe is a little more cut and dry than this case. This case has me stumped because I just don't like how everything would have happened. I have to do a better job at sitting down with the logistics of it to say, okay, like how is it possible that he walked this direction? Karma, yeah, oh, thank you, Gold Star Mom. Yeah. And Karma, trust me. Yep. Oh, I didn't even think of that, Gold Star Mom. That's a perfect example. Just gone, right? 5 minutes, just gone. Or was it 10 minutes? Mom's changed her story 50 times, but um it just breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart. And like Karma was saying, so it was a really good point because they were saying that a lot of times the homeless people will, do something like that because there's less likely chance for them to get caught. And I mean, it does, if law enforcement is backing off, if somebody has him, they're thinking, oh, good point, Karma. And I don't like to accuse the parents. Oh, Karma, I bet. Yeah. I've never dove completely into that case only because it had become such a train wreck. And I don't think mom at this point is ever going to talk if she had something to do with it. Yeah, Gold Star Mom, so do I. So do I. I just can't figure out how could a diaper change take that long for him to get, I know they're fast. I know kids are fast, but to get that far away from that you can't be found just from a diaper change is confusing with absolutely zero evidence. I mean, and like Karma was saying, and other people, y'all were saying, like the only explanation for that would be if somebody literally picked him up and took him because there wouldn't be footprints in the dirt or anything like that. So I'm going to do like a deep dive on the playground surrounding, where dad was on the hill changing the diaper, allegedly in proximity to see the playground, to the southeast that they said there's video of him walking by himself. The only thing I could think of about that, because they said they don't think that like it was foul play because there was video of him walking away by himself. The only thing I could think of is that somebody was at a distance enough because they knew. No, they haven't, Gold Star Mom. The brother was 6 and the little girl is 2, but I wondered if it was somebody that knew the park well enough to know where the video cameras were, but somehow got him to come to them so that they couldn't be spotted on the video cameras, but enough where he would go to them. That is a possibility to be, because I don't believe it was just like somebody drove up and was like, "Hey, there's a kid. I'm going to take him." And right, exactly, Karma. He might have been going to get a drink. Who knows? Um, Possible too, Denise. And why him and not the 6-year-old? That's the other thing. The boys were playing on the playground together. So why, if it was an abduction, why Lucian and not the brother that's 6? Those are the situations where I go, okay, well, I mean, was he difficult to, like it's just, yeah, I get some major Summer Wells monkey vibes from this one. Yeah, it's possible, Denise. It's weird to me that the brother didn't follow him. Oh, I bet Gold Star Crime of Opportunity, maybe some. Yeah, they haven't really said karma. They said that, he has a hard time putting sentence together and stuff. It's kind of choppy, which he's 4 and he's autistic, so that's not surprising. But that he wasn't necessarily scared of people, and he would come if he was called. But I know, like, if my kids are playing on the playground together, one wouldn't typically run off without the other one, when they were littler, running with them and following them. Oh, no worries, love my Charlie Faith. So it is kind of weird that he took off and the other brother didn't follow him. So there's definitely some questions that are being skirted around, that are, but it makes me sad that law enforcement is backing off, because I'm like, is he ever going to be found now? It's just terrible. Yeah, karma, you never know. Like, it's just, I would think if he was in the water, divers would find him, but like there is several areas of water, but did you, Denise? Okay, maybe I'm just thinking, yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking the boys playing together and one running off. I just think, you see on video a kid walking south and then east by himself and then just vanishing. And isn't that kind of what happened? I haven't looked at the monkey case much. Isn't that kind of what happened? They saw him moving and then he just disappeared. Well, heck, we know Summer Wells, right? She went allegedly down in the basement to play and then somehow vanished off the property. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know. But I wanted to introduce you guys to, okay, that's possible too, Karma. Maybe brother headed back to the, is he? That's the thing. Like, I'm surprised they haven't released video footage of him, of him leaving the park or something, because I've seen no evidence of that. And law enforcement has been real quiet now about it. So is it true? Was he actually seen leaving the park? Was he actually really ever at the park? That's a really good point, Izzy. That is a really good point. Was he actually at the park? Wow. That is a really good. Oh, Karma. Yeah, I just the little parts I've, like at least when I saw the video of like, when McDonough went around their house and stuff, it was older brother like playing with bees, my oldest brother. Like yeah, that was, yeah, Izzy. So that's the other thing, y'all, is they went to the park at like 7. Okay. Fair enough, but it does get dark now. Let's see, where were they? Oh, they were Washington. Well, no, where it gets dark around 7:30 now, and so by 7:15, he went to change the daughter's diaper, and dang, yeah, I mean that's late. So he took off then or whatever when it was dark, probably, or around dark. So then the parents searched for him in the dark, must have, or close to dark, for 15 minutes or something like that, it said, and then called law enforcement. Exactly. Exactly, Gold Star Mom. Exactly. Yeah, Pamela, it's hard, and I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt, but and maybe if law enforcement would give more information, but it's like, okay, we've got so little, and you've got hundreds. I mean, it's saying you've got hundreds of searchers and, you know, rescue equipment and all this stuff and infrared and all this stuff, and then no one can find evidence of him. And so everyone's like, we're backing off now because we can't find him. I mean, something is weird. I don't know. And I don't know how. I don't know, guys. It's just that. And it is. We've seen, a lot of cases like y'all are saying that, you know, it's weird to me how law enforcement lately, it feels like they're just always jumping to no foul play suspected, no foul play suspected. And hey, rebellious. And like, I understand, right? There might not be evidence of foul play, but at the same time, true, Denise. At the same time, like, how can you be so sure? You said you can't find him. This is what I don't understand. You said exactly, Gold Star Mom. You said that there's no foul play, but you've also said you cannot find him anywhere and that you're backing off. So I don't understand. What is it? Because yep, Izzy, we were just talking about that, and Karma had a really good point about that. And so a little boy doesn't just wander off and then you say, we couldn't find him, so, but there's no foul play. Like, that doesn't make sense. Hey, Brandy. Like, it just doesn't, that's not even a good logic. Now that I think about it, like, so you can't find him and, you know, whatever. It's all cool. And, but there's no foul play. It doesn't. Wow. So this was just issued, y'all. Holy guys. Oh, sorry, I got excited. This was issued 51 minutes ago. According to Washington State Patrol, just Washington, I'll do it, PJs. But listen, 51 minutes ago says, according to Washington State Patrol, there are 17 children, including Lucian Munguia, who are missing from Yakima. Well, that um that is alarming. That changes some of. And then here's somebody saying, the police asked the public not to help join the search for the missing. So I did hear that, right? So it was alleged that they asked the public not to help in the search because it said they were getting in the way. And but law enforcement called off searching at 6 p.m. every night. They've done drones, boats, and divers with no sign of him. Yeah, something's not right. 17 kids? No, Jen. And what I'm reading and seeing, it's Brandy, what the heck is going on there then? It's got something gold star 17 kids from Yakima missing since September 10th. Law enforcement has pulled back because they can't find any evidence of him. They've searched with everything they possibly can search with, and there's no sign of him. But they don't expect foul play. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look on it. Let's see how big it is there, Pamela, because now I'm going nuts. You know I love me my Google Earth. Hold on. Oh, I got to share my screen. Hold on, Gold Star. What'd she say? Yeah, something is. Carbon copy. Oh, Beatlemaniac, I'm sorry. I know that's hard. Let's see. All right. We've got, let me see the exact location here. All right. And then I'll find the park when we get here. So this, oh, hold on. I got to go. Sorry. Okay, here we go. I wanted to find the name of the park. All right. So here's the park that it took place in. Ah, perfect. So let's do one even better here, y'all. We're going to walk. Okay, so the playground. Okay, so there is a pretty huge. Let me find the playground. I want to find the playground. So there is that huge, but they said they've searched there. Where the heck is the playground? Is this it? Okay, so this is a look at the park, guys. I'll go back to StreamYard and make sure you're all following along. I was stationed at Fort Lewis back in. Oh, thanks, Rebellious. Exactly, Denise. Stationed it. Wow. All right, let's get a good look at this and see, because I want to see what Karma and everybody was talking about. So there are, if y'all see, there is, these apartment complexes, but I think this is the playground right here. So Dad said he was on the hill changing the baby's diaper. Yep, here's the playground. So Dad, okay, all right, y'all seeing this? So Dad is allegedly, we're going to say he's in the parking lot changing the baby's diaper. We've got Lucian and his brother over there playing on the playground. Then he goes, sorry, I got to shut the door. The kids are talking. He goes southeast. I don't really know how to find southeast, so somebody's going to have to tell me. Hey, here's the answer to your question, Karma. Porta potties. I don't know what that building is. What is that building? So how far would it have been? So over there's the water. How the heck did he get all that way? There's a pavilion. So the cameras must have been over here. Yeah, I don't exactly, Sandy. I don't know, y'all. This seems pretty Gosh, if there's a parking lot. PJ, are you still here or somebody that's been following this case? I was almost positive that they said dad was on a hill changing the baby's diaper. Unless he was over here or something. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting onto a, oh gosh, I'm getting in a rabbit's hole. I'll have to do this by myself, but oh, maybe he was up here. He said he was on a hill. I bet you he was up here. No, because he said it was in the back seat of the car. Regardless, he's probably over here somewhere. He said he could still see the playground. Sorry, I'm making you all dizzy. Yeah, I don't know. Something's weird. That doesn't make Karma, it's alleged that they were the only ones, or it was something like I thought they were the only ones there, as from what I read. There's not a lot of, is it Brandy? Okay. I'm not sure, Denise. I don't know what that building is, right? That I pointed out, but and that's the other thing PJ's wish. Why would he be on like why would you be on the hill when there's a huge park? Like it doesn't, so these are some things that I don't totally understand. I mean, if you look at it, I understand there's that like one water, right? We saw, let's see, we saw the large body of, let me get off this view. So there is that large body of water, but hold on a second. Parker has an idea. Playground. I mean, you still have to walk 0.08 miles. You still have to walk a distance as a 4-year-old to get to the body of water that they've searched thoroughly without. Oh, they're talking the Yakima River. Okay, well, how far is that? Quarter of a mile? No way that baby walked a quarter of a mile without. So the Yakima, yeah, I can't say it if I'm probably saying it wrong, is where they say that there's a lot of homeless population that lives along this river. I mean, a quarter of a mile for a 4-year-old, y'all, it's pretty far. Yeah, PJ's wish. Yakima, the building could be bathrooms and perhaps, yeah, I wonder that too, Gold Star Mom. Now, they yeah, so I have to figure that out, Brandy, if they saw him on a trail or they saw him leaving the, because it just said that the article I saw said they just saw him going south and then east by himself. But I wasn't sure if that was a trail they saw him on or it was actually just um like it was just the playground. Well, how do you say it? It's not Yakima. How close is the street? Let's see. I love using Google Earth for these. All right. So this would be the street playground. The closest street would be about 0.11 miles. This like hardcore street is like 0.1 not, yeah. I just don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening. Maybe stranger things have happened, you know. I just, yeah, Karma, I don't know. It's just hard to imagine because it's just like he just would have had to move so quick to get there. And it was like he, now if he did go to the trail though, there's a lot of woods back there. But again, no one has seen any sign of him. And you would see something. And if he went back to the trail, I mean, he'd have to really, really hike to get, and it was dark. Oh, it's just awful. It's just awful. I need to go. No, yak, like you're gonna Yakuma. Huh. I'm gonna have to go practice how to say it first. Well, then it should be spelt that way, not with an I. I'm just kidding. But yeah, karma for sure. But it's not, Brandy. It's not. So, well, we're gonna follow this case, y'all, and I'm gonna hop off here because I gotta put children to bed and then myself. But I appreciate y'all coming in, and if you guys find anything on this case, well, you can when I cover it next, Brandy. Yes, actually, yeah, Brandy, you should cover this with me. Um, we will keep looking at it. They're doing a visual as we speak, apparently, in a park. All right, guys, have a great night. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you.